Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. So I have returned from annual leave. I have been back at work for 2 days, 2 full days. I do work full time Monday to Friday. So today's Tuesday, it is the 24th of October. I've written that date down all day and I still managed to forget what date it was. But yeah, it's been a very busy last 2 days at work. Obviously, as you know what it's like when you go back to work or your routine changes, it can be quite tiring initially. So I was a bit tired last night, but again, I didn't get to sit down till about 11:30 last night, and I woke up about 7 o'clock in the morning yesterday morning. So it's a long day on a Monday. Mondays are, as most people would know with work, very busy. Everyone's just back from the weekend, and the sort of flow of your day as such can go by like an instant. However, when you get home, it suddenly hits you that you are feeling a little bit tired, a little bit worse for wear. But yeah, we also have a very busy Monday evening as well, because we have my stepson staying over every Monday because he goes to a club, as I'm sure some of you might know already, as I've spoken about it on previous videos. But to keep us on track, we always make sure that we've got some meals already prepared or something that we have in the freezer. So with regards to tonight's dinner, yes, it's Tuesday and it's not been as busy a night. However, we've been doing lots of other things tonight, and it's now 9 o'clock. It's actually technically 10 past 9 at night, and I haven't had dinner yet. So yeah, that's basically how my week's gone so far. And I probably won't sit down till about 11 o'clock again tonight, but that's just how my life is, and I'm accepting of it. It's not changing anytime soon. But yeah, what I will do is just quickly pop one of my alarms off. I'm due to go out a dog walk, but anyway, I'll pop that off for now so it doesn't interrupt the rest of the video. And so tonight, I'm just going to be a very quick dinner, to be honest, but a quick dinner that will be tasty, and it will also feel like a really, really nice, comforting treat. So this is what I'm going to be using tonight to make my dinner, and it is the MyProtein Chicken Kebab. So if you're a shopper within Food Warehouse or Iceland stores, then you might have seen this, you might not. But for anyone who doesn't know what MyProtein is a company that basically sells high protein, as you would think, but high protein sort of supplements for making up protein shakes. They also have a food range, and they have had a food range, albeit a small food range, for quite a long time, so like protein bars, drinks, etc. However, they now have food in the frozen aisle within the Food Warehouse in Iceland, as we know. Now they do deals on their food, so you can pick up ready meals, etc., as well as stuff like this. Now, even though they are higher in protein, and obviously they are very balanced meals, I would say, they are probably about the same price as the Slimming World food range, but at the same time they are also not high in sins, but I would say medium sin values on the meals. Now some of them obviously are higher in calories because of what kind of food that they are, like macaroni cheese and things like that with pulled pork, which sounds delicious, and I know my husband enjoys it a lot, so he often buys in MyProtein meals for his lunch to take to work, and he really thoroughly enjoys them. He also enjoys the Slimming World ones as well, and when we have looked at the sort of comparison of the nutritional information, there's not that much difference, but of course it's not so Slimming World sin-free or low sin. So some of the meals are between sort of 3 and 6 sins, some of them are a little bit more than that. However, this is a really low sin product, and this is what my dinner is going to consist of tonight. So rather than going and buying a takeaway or trying to make my own takeaway at home at the moment, this is the easiest and most tastiest way of doing it. So per 100 grams of this, it is 2 sins. So I'm not going to show you every step of the way what to do tonight, because it's really straightforward and it literally includes a few ingredients. That is it. So the first ingredient, obviously, as we said, is our chicken kebab. I've actually weighed it out already, just so I can be sure that what I'm having is, a relative amount of sins that, for what I want to spend on dinner. And of course I could have more. I've actually had no sins today at all. So all I've had is fruit, I had 2 boiled eggs, I had some grapes and apples, a yoghurt, and at lunchtime, that was for breakfast, and then at lunchtime I had some more apple, grapes and strawberries. I had a potato and leek soup that I made from scratch at home, some world friendly, and I then had 2 tangerines as well. And I've also had 2 large cups of tea today with using my Healthy Extra A choice, so one of my Healthy Extra A choices, which was skimmed milk, so it was 350 mils for that. And I've also had 2.5 cans of Coke Zero, just because that's what we've got in at the moment in the cupboard, and it was just easy just to grab it and go this morning before I went to work. So yeah, as you can probably tell, I'm very hungry, but I will show you what the meat looks like. So of course it is frozen, it does come in sort of slices. A little tip if you guys are making this at home is to take out what you need and weigh it and just let it thaw very slightly before you try to cook it, and it just helps break up some of, or if there are any larger chunks of chicken, such as that. Now obviously that's lots of little bits of chicken together and it's all sort of layered up, but it does help if it's just slightly thawed or defrosted before you go to cook it. Now there are various ways to cook this. I'll just show you some sort of larger pieces there. So that's what it looks like. It does have a sort of like very light tikka taste and smell to it, but I can assure you it is delicious. And you can taste the difference between this and normal doner meat. Of course it's very different, but it does taste a lot cleaner, it does taste a lot more pure, and obviously much healthier, but it really does taste extremely good. And as I said, myself and my husband thoroughly enjoy this. It is something that we've been buying for quite a long time now, but I thought it'd be really good for anyone who's just wanting a quick but really tasty low sin meal that feels like a real treat. And of course you can have more of the kebab meat if you wanted to make it into a much bigger meal, but certainly for me I'm going to be bulking this out and I'll show you what I'm going to be doing in a minute. But just talking about the sort of cooking methods for this, you can pan fry it, you can air fry it, you can microwave it, or you can pop it into the oven. Personally for me tonight, I'm going to be just popping it into the air fryer. Now I'm not having chips with this tonight or fries. I don't actually have any summer roll chips left in the house. I do have some potatoes, but because time's marching on, I'm going to just leave the chips for tonight. I'm just not going to have them at all. Normally I would have them, but I just want to eat, to be fair. And actually for the amount of food that I'm going to be eating, I don't really need the chips. It's just a nice addition. And you guys at home might have your own preferences or agree or disagree with that as well. So what I will say is this is 85% chicken breast, and there are very, very little ingredients in this. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 ingredients, and the majority of that is flavourings. So it's very, very good. Per 100 grams is 146 calories. This is if you cook it in the oven. 5.1 grams of fat, 1.7 grams of carbs, 1 gram of protein, and 22.7 grams of protein. So you're having double or over double the amount of protein per 100 grams that you're having. So I think personally for me, that is excellent. It does have pea fibre in it as well, and it does have soy protein in it, just probably to give it that extra, the extra protein value, which is great. It does say that it may contain egg, mustard and milk, which are obviously allergens, so it's just to be aware if you guys at home have an allergy, or if you live or cook for someone who does have an allergy, just to be super, super careful. And it also contains celery and soya, so soya protein. So again, if you are sensitive or if you're allergic to those types of foods, then I would completely not have this. But of course, again, it might not be yourself, it might be someone else that you're cooking for, so always just be super safe and just consider other people's requirements. So this pack itself is a 450 gram pack, and the description is MyProtein Chicken Kebab meat, sliced seasoned roast chicken breast with added water and soy protein. So yeah, let's just sort of get started. So what I'm going to do is pop out, just grab my lettuce from my fridge. So I've had some of this already, of course it was a full bag, but this is the iceberg lettuce from M&S. It was the closest shop that I could get to be honest, earlier today. and so it's washed and ready to eat, so you don't need to do anything more to it. You just pop it onto your plate or your bowl or whatever it is you're going to do. So what I do with this is I will pop it onto my plate. I'll probably use a little bit of my sea salt because I really like the flavour, just a little bit of a sprinkle over the lettuce. For me, it helps me eat it and it helps me enjoy it. If you guys don't want to do that, then absolutely don't do it. But I'm not a huge fan of just plain lettuce. I'm not sure anybody is, and if you are, then well done to you. But it's certainly not something that I could chomp down on, to be honest, especially a plate worth of it. So a little bit of seasoning over the iceberg lettuce, as I said, and then I'm going to chop up some tomatoes, a little bit of pepper on them. I generally do like a little bit of pepper on my tomatoes to blend the flavour out. And what I would normally do, but I don't actually have any tonight, is I will have some diced onion, and I will cut that up and sort of lightly fry it as well, just to have with the chicken, so it's a little bit more authentic. But of course you can add in anything you want. You can add in jalapenos, you can add in pickles, you know, you could add in cheese. It's completely up to you what you want on your sort of kebab salad bowl or plate, whatever it is that you want to do and want to put in. Again, it's completely up to yourself. What I'm also going to have on the side, again I mentioned I'm not having chips tonight or fries, but I am going to have a Warburton's wholemeal pita with my sort of salad kebab bowl. Trying to think of a word for it. And these are the Warburton's ones, which are a healthy extra B choice, so I've not obviously had my healthy extra B today. And if you are not using this as a healthy extra B choice, then you need to count 7.5 sins for it. So it's just to be super aware that you're not going to go over your sin value for the day. So that's what it looks like. And for anyone who hasn't seen this before, it comes pre-sliced already, and they are excellent at toasting. Again, I've mentioned in a previous video, you can open them up and you can use them as a pizza base, or you know, really you could fill it up with anything you want and then seal it, pop it into the air fryer, and it would be a bit like a calzone. You could use this instead of a wrap. So there's so many options, so many configurations that you could make this into your own. So this is just a little bit of an idea for me that I'm doing tonight. And what I'm also going to do is use the Tesco garlic sauce, which is 2 cents per level tablespoon. So a level tablespoon is 15 mils. So 15 millilitres is 40 calories, which is 2 cents. So when I've got everything all plated up and I come back to show you at the end, I will weigh this out and sort of put it on my food on the scales so that I know that I'm not going to go over my sins. So again, this is optional. It's not part of the meal, as an addition to the meal that I personally want to have. But technically, if you were following all of this, you would be only using 2 sins, and that would be for the 100 grams of meat. Of course, if you're using more than that, then you would have more sins attached to your meal. And of course, the more sauce you use, the more sins. So of course, fill up with as much speed food as you can, but obviously for tonight, it's just going to be the lettuce and the tomatoes that I'm currently having with my meal. So as I said, I'll head off, I'll get everything ready. It's probably going to take a maximum of maybe 10 minutes, if that. To be honest, it's probably less than 10 minutes to cook the meat in the air fryer, and just sort of assemble it all on the plate, and I'll come back and show you what the end result's like. Hey guys, so our kebab plate is ready. So what I actually did is I put my lettuce on top, as I said, and on the top of the plate I put a little bit of salt and pepper over it. I then chopped up my tomatoes, so I'll just sort of show you the sort of size that they're at the moment. So just sort of like halved a cherry tomato and then halved it again, so like quartered it and then quartered it again, just so they're sort of small pieces, just as you would get diced tomatoes in a sort of kebab, wouldn't you? I also had just 4 small sort of pickled onions left, so I quartered the ones that I had left up, just to add a little bit of tang to my plate and extra speed as well. Of course, pickled onions are free food, but they're also speed because they are onions. I then put my kebab meat on top, so I'll just sort of try to show you a piece that's cooked with some sort of sauce on it. Try not to lift too much off the plate. So yeah, that's what it looks like. And again, as I said, I popped this in the air fryer. It took less than 10 minutes on 200. And just do a little bit of a taste test for you guys, even though I know it tastes delicious. Still good, still amazing, still really nice. And what I also did was pop some cheese on top. So this is my 30 grams of my cheddar, which is my healthy extra A choice 2. So obviously I mentioned I had my 350 mils of skimmed milk, which is my healthy extra A1. And then the second choice, of course, is my cheese tonight. And then, as I mentioned earlier, for the 2 sins, I've put on the sort of garlic sauce that we have from Tesco's. It is really tasty. To be honest, on a plate this size with the cheese and the chicken and your tomatoes and things on it, I genuinely don't think it needs much more than the 15 mils. Of course, if you wanted to, if you could add on extra calories or sins to your day, then of course pop on more sauce. It's completely up to you guys at home. If you wanted to make up your own, if you wanted to make up a chili sauce or anything like that, then absolutely by all means go for it. But this is a really customizable plate. You can add on extra things, you can take away things, and I suppose all of this really without the sauce would only be 2 sins. So you cannot complain with that for that amount of food. I mean, it is a real plate full of food. Again, with all of the speed in there with regards to the lettuce, our onions and our tomatoes, we definitely have over 50% of our food is speed food, which is excellent for summer world. So I hope this has been useful. It's just a bit of a quick video, a little bit of a quick idea for you guys at home if you've not tried this already from the Food Warehouse or Iceland. And again, it's completely up to you what you pop on your sort of salad bowl or plate, but load it up with all the good things that you really enjoy and the things that will fill you up. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been a useful video, and thank you always for your support and your encouragement. It really does mean the world to me. So thank you, and I shall catch you in the next video. Bye!